GW just dropped a brand new data slate, and in it, Orks have a brand new detachment called More Dakka. And today on Ops episode 40, we're going to do a review and talk about a few tips and tricks on this new Ork detachment. And talk about, is it OP? Is it going to be the number one reigning detachment in the entire world of Warhammer 40K? We shall see in a couple of weeks. Stay tuned and locked in. All right, so I'm super excited to talk about the Orks. We got a brand new detachment. The detachment rule is called Dakka, Dakka, Dakka. Just more Dakka, not enough Dakka. So they had to give us more. They just recently nerfed the tactical brigade for Orks, but gave us an even better detachment. Pretty weird for them to do that, but I'm still excited. I'm still very happy to talk about it today with all of you and see if this is the new OP number one S tier of the entire world of Warhammer 40K. We shall see in the next couple weeks, right, how well this starts performing. 30 looters is definitely going to be the staple to take in this type of detachment. I really like all of the rules. The detachment rule itself is called Dakka, 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 like I was telling you. During your shooting phase, ranged weapons equipped by Orks infantry and Orks walkers, which includes the Gorkanaut, things like that, right? So pretty amazing. Killer cans, death dreads, everything that you can basically get in there to shoot very well. Looters, flash gets, and tank buses, of course. So 30 looters, 18 tank buses looks like it's going to be the staple for this list right here. Super excited. It's very spicy. During your shooting phase, ranged weapons equipped by Orks infantry and Orks walker models from your army have sustained 2 ability. Now, I just want to make sure that this is clear to everybody. It's not going to work for every case scenario like Overwatch or out of phase shooting, right? Which Overwatch is one of those. So all of these abilities are not going to work on that. It's also not going to work on your vehicles if you try to do it through your fire index. So you're going to have to actually put these models on the board in your shooting phase to get that sustained 2. And also, while the wall is active for your army, ranged weapons equipped by Orks infantry and Orks walker models from your army have the assault ability keyword, which is really nice because during the wall, you're allowed to advance and charge. So now you can advance, shoot, and charge with all of your units that you're shooting with, which is really nasty, even though you probably don't want to get that close with looters. Maybe flash gets probably the better of the 3 units that shoots. That is infantry is probably going to be tank buses. They can fight well in melee. And obviously your death dreads can do pretty well. Killer cans and Gorkanauts in melee as well. So really nice. This is actually probably one of the strongest detachment rules that I've seen in a very long time. So I'm excited to see this on the tabletop in a few days and coming weeks. Also, I have Grand Onslaught 9, which is a grand tournament this weekend. I've allowed this for everyone over the weekend. So we're going to see, I personally am going to see hopefully a lot of people playing this, and I will be watching them on the tabletop, making sure they get their rules right, first of all. And second off, seeing how they perform over the grand tournament weekend. So first things first, we have enhancements, the Gobshot Thunderbuss. So this is for Orks model only. Ranged weapons equipped by the bearer have the devastating wounds and hazardous abilities. You're probably going to put this on a big mech with SAG. Probably your best case scenario. I mean, you could put it on a big mech in mega armor. He has a little bit of shooting. You could also put it on a regular mech with his gun, things like that. Getting devastating wounds is, all pun intended, is devastating, very, very strong. So you're definitely going to see a lot of people using this enhancement, I think, in my honest opinion. Next one up for the enhancements, we have Dead Shiny Shooters. Orks model only. Once again, ranged weapons equipped by models in the bearer's unit have the Rapid Fire 1 ability. Now, this can be very good for tips and tricks, right? For flash gets, tank busters will probably be a lot better for tank busters trying to get that Rapid Fire 1, especially that you potentially can get into melee with those tank busters and do some damage as well. So that way you're getting that close to get that Rapid Fire 1, because it's only going to be 12 inches for the tank busters, right? Because they're 24 inches. Rapid fire range would be 12. Same thing goes for the flash kits. Now on the looters, it's going to be 24 inches to get that rapid fire touch, but they already have rapid fire, so it's completely superfluous to even take it on that unit whatsoever, because it's not going to stack. It's not going to make you rapid fire 2, things like that. So take it on your flash kits, take it on your tank busters, which is probably the preferred method, and just watch them go crazy with sustain 2, rapid fire, potentially a +1 to hit as well. Very, very, very strong. Targeting squigs is the next enhancement. It's for orc models only. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes a range attack, add 1 to the hit roll. This is for the unit as well. This can be very good for flash get units, tank buster units, and looters as well. Making those looters hit on 5s, potentially if they're standing still, a little bit better than that, right? There are different ways that maybe you can get that blister skill just to hit a little bit better. You can't stack double hit rolls of addition of +1, so you won't be able to do that, but you'll have all other possibilities to make those looters shoot a lot better, sustain 2, rapid fire 1, and make them very effective. But I really think this is better in the case scenario for tank busters. I think tank busters are really going to be the champions coming out of this detachment with the looters. Obviously, the looters are going to be the staples that everyone is using, but that's just for mass amount of shots. With the sustain 2s, really what you're going to proc into. But for anything that buffs your hits and makes you rapid fire, you're probably going to put it on tank busters. Then we have the last enhancement called Zog Off and Eat Dakka. Once again, this is for orc models only. The bearer's unit is eligible to shoot in a turn in which it fell back. Now, this can be very good. It's very subjective and situational to when you're going to use it. A lot of times you're hoping that you're ready to destroy that unit in close combat, so you won't have to fall back and shoot it again, but might be very useful if in the right case scenario. Now we move on to the stratagems for the new detachment, more Dakka, the Orks. Orks is still Orks, is the name of this first stratagem. When does this happen? In the fight phase, the target is one Orks unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. So any Orks unit, anything whatsoever in your army. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit, re-roll a wound roll of 1. If that enemy unit is within range of an objective marker, you can re-roll the entire wound roll. This is absolutely disgusting. I think the detachment has some of the strongest stratagems in it as well. Being able to re-roll wound rolls of 1 or full re-rolls if they're on the objective is going to be absolutely amazing for looters. Once again, with flash kits and tank busters as well. Probably better with looters because you're going to have so many shots, getting the ability to re-roll for wounds and hits as well. Hit rolls of 1. It's going to be very, very spicy. So looking forward to using this stratagem. You can also use this on the Gorkanaut. Also, you have long uncontrolled burst. When does this happen? Start of your shooting phase. Target one Orcs character model from your army. So just a character model. Select one enemy unit within 18 inches of your Orcs character model. Doesn't need line of sight from what I can see. So you could just select a unit. Be like, hey, that unit over there within 18 inches I want that to be the target to the stratagem. Until the end of the phase, weapons equipped by orc models from your army. So your entire army has ignores cover ability while targeting that unit. So if you're firing into something that you really want to get destroyed really quickly, you just tell that character to point at a unit within 18 inches, no line of sight needed, and your entire army ignores cover. So absolutely amazing. Like I said, these stratagems are absolutely amazing. You're probably going to end up using this once again on your looters, but probably everything that's shooting into those units. Maybe tank busters, you're trying to bring down a light vehicle and you don't want to give it cover because it's hiding, or a unit that has cover and they already have a great armor save, you'll probably put it into that unit. So there's a lot of cases and uses for that stratagem. The next stratagem is get stuck in, lads. Gotta love it. Gotta love the names of all of these stratagems. Very orky, very thematic. Get stuck in, lads actually happens in your command phase. You select one Orks unit from your army, and until the start of your next command phase, the WA is active for your army, even if you've already called the WA this battle. Also, just to note, this means that any abilities that are in effect while the WA is active for your army will be in effect for your army. All right, so it specifically calls out that the abilities are in effect that is active for your army. All right, so things like Makari's lethal hits, right? So you might see, and I've been creating these lists that has guys go with Makari, of course, in it just to see how much more powerful these units can get just by having these abilities, just giving guys WA every single time just to give out lethal, even though it's in melee. It can be very strong if you're running with Breaker Boys, or if you're running with Beast Snaggers, Boys, Mega Knobs, whatever it might be, right? This is going to make your army exponentially better for that unit in particular. So way better than the Bully Boys one as well, where you get 2 consecutive walls. You can get a wall every single turn, and you can select a different unit every single turn. So that's pretty good. If you ask me, it's actually probably one of the best things that you can do for Orks. It's just at your will WA, right? So it gives you what you need. So utility for all of these stratagems, these enhancements, and just the army rule itself is really good. Then you have special shells for the stratagems as well. This one happens in your shooting phase. One Orks unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot as of yet. Until the end of the phase, each time a model unit makes a range attack that targets the closest eligible target within 18, improve the armor pen of those weapons by 1. Really good. You can make tank busters AP 3, flat 3 damage, which is usually a weird spot to be at with AP 2 anyways, right? Especially if you're putting them into like Terminators and they have cover. Right now you can take away cover from them by using one of these stratagems, and also make sure that your AP goes through. Really good for vehicles as well. Take away their cover, +1 AP. So now tank busters are -3. Most tanks are going to be on a 6-up save, so they're going to save a lot less often than they would on a 5-up save. So very strong. I do like this ability to just be able to pick and choose your resources and how to make your units just that much better. Huge show-offs is another stratagem as well. This is during your command phase. You get 1 Orks Walker, excluding Killicans, which you would probably put it on every time on your Killicans. But you could put it on your Gorkanaths and Death Dreads and things like that. Until the start of your next command phase, improve your unit's move, leadership, and objective control characteristic by 1. Each time a model unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll as well. So, +1 to your move, +1 to your leadership, and +1 to your objective control. And +1 to hit. This can get pretty spicy if you're putting it like on a Gorkanath, if you're putting it on Death Dreads. This can get very spicy, very good, make you move a little, just slightly, a little bit faster, have a better leadership. right? Most of the time, unless it's a unit full of models, you really don't need that leadership buff. But it can be used on a couple of things, a couple of walkers, minus killer cans, death dreads, things like that. So very, very nice. Probably one of the most lackluster ones, but still a very good stratagem. I think every single stratagem in this detachment is absolutely amazing. And then the last one is called that Dakka. This happens in your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has shot. One Orks unit from your army that had one or more of its models destroyed as a result of attacking units' attacks, you get to shoot back as if it was your shooting phase. And you can only do this to an enemy unit that is eligible as a target. All right. This can be absolutely devastating if you kill one model for looters, right? They still have 9 models left. If you have a character attached to it, you know, a mech with SAG gun, then you have 10 models left in that unit, and you just fire right back at them. If they end up, you know, if the enemy unit ends up not taking out more than one model, but in those case scenarios, they only kill one model or they kill a few of them, it's still incredible to be able to shoot back, use all the abilities that you have, and just get shots in during your opponent's shooting phase. So this is one of those things like, hey, this is your turn, but now it's my turn with this stratagem. And I'm going to do what I want to do, and then you can continue to do what you want to do. Because this is immediately after a model dies. So it's before anything else gets to shoot at that unit. So, and only do this as an enemy unit that is an eligible target. Must target only the enemy unit. So it has to be done against that enemy unit that shot you, and has to be eligible target, which is fine. Would have been broken if you could just shoot another unit that hasn't shot you yet, but you can shoot the unit that shot you in return. Really, really nice. This is going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to really make your enemy's phase just more so of your phase, and gives you the ability to do what you want to do. And you can do this every single turn. So pretty nasty. Make sure that you have a lot of Gretchen so you can get a lot of additional CP, because Orks have a lot of resources now, especially with this new detachment. It's looking extra spicy. Really, really nice. So that's just a review of everything that has come out in the new detachment. How do you guys feel about it? How's everything going in your world of Orks with the Dakka, more Dakka detachment? Put down in the comment section how you've been feeling. How do you feel about this new detachment? And hopefully we talk soon. Thank you so much to everyone that participated and watched to the very end. This is extra spicy with more Dakka. Just gotta love the new Orks detachment. This is absolutely amazing. It's going to be super strong. I think it's going to be OP and actually get nerfed probably in a couple of weeks. But hopefully you have the opportunity to use it, maybe win a GT, a couple RTTs before that actually happens. This is so strong. I don't know why they ended up giving us a new detachment. Maybe just fix Tactical Brigade or leave Tactical Brigade how it is and give it to something else that is needing. But that's okay. And we're Ork players, and we do love our gifts, especially when it comes into more Dakka detachment for the Orks. And it's absolutely thrilling to play this in the next couple of days. So once again, thank you so much to everyone for participating to the very end. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, Onslaught Gaming 40K, where victory is just a strategy away. And most importantly, we're back at it, baby. Whoa!